Tech coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains, but trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech coach Ralph, you light the way. Through sweat and tears, you help us play. With every lesson, we find our might. From morning grind to the stars at night. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing on this beautiful, beautiful Monday, the second day of December? Yes, can you believe that already? It's like it was just January 1st, 2024. We were taking off on our doing our morning shows. We started I think late November, but we started, you know what? We're going to be doing the morning shows. We're going to be pivoting to building this mobile app, and we've been doing it consistently for the entire year. So look at that. We're almost at the end of the year. We're almost at the end of the year. We have not missed. We are out here winning. We are out here killing it. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. Let me move this because I think it's messing with the shirt or with the hoodie. So boom, let's move that over here. All right. And we got my guy, the Wealth Building Journey, in the building. Good morning, the Wealth Building Journey. How are you doing? Hopefully you had an amazing weekend, long extended weekend with the family, all that good stuff. So welcome. All right. So this is the Coffee and Kata Morning Show. We're going to be reviewing our news stories as we're going to be going into our mobile development as well. So, we're going to be working on our testing. So, quick announcements. We're premiering at noon Eastern time today, the Candid Conversations. I'm going to be talking about the state of QA and if it will survive in 2025, which is less than a month away. And then tomorrow we're going to be going live doing our Q&A. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my nephew turning 3 years old today. Shout out to my nephew, Alexander. 3 years. 3 years. We are out here killing it. So shout out to you. All right. We're going to get started with our show. Let's jump into the news. I didn't see the numbers to review this morning, which was, usually after some holiday weekend, I don't. They don't have the numbers to review right away. So if we don't have it by the time we end with our news this morning, we will see if they have it for Wednesday. If not, we will just wing it. We'll use like the Bloomberg source of data, and we'll go from there. Right. So we should pretty much know on the schedule what should be coming out because we should be having the JOLTS report coming out this week. Job like the unemployment numbers. So we'll play that by ear, but we will have a show Saturday regardless. All right. So. Let me see real quick what the wealth building journey is saying. He says that what's going on. I'm doing great. I am doing superb. Long weekend, got a lot of work done. As all like usually when I hear long weekend, I say, you know what, more time, more opportunity to get some stuff done. All right. And the wealth building journey says I can only stay for a few, but I may be able to hop back on later. We're not going to be on here for that long either. 45-minute show in the mornings. We're going to keep it moving. But I appreciate any second that you can spend with us. I appreciate it, all right? I truly, truly appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
All right, so with that being said, let's jump into our news. And then I'll give you some additional stuff after we get into the news. But let's get to it. Let's get to it. No times to be wasting. Let's go. All right, so first off let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, that's good enough like that. Okay, so let's start our timer. First off, the U.S. rules to curb China chip sector. The White House on Monday announced new limits on China's access to certain technical components, marking the latest effort to prevent the country from developing its own advanced chips for military equipment and artificial intelligence. Per the New York Times, the restrictions apply to the sale of 24 types of manufacturing equipment and 3 software tools. The Commerce Department also revealed that 140 Chinese companies and other entities will be added to its trade blacklist. Previous rounds of U.S. restrictions were aimed at shipments of AI chips and advanced chip-making equipment. That's pretty interesting. So they are blocking China from getting particular chips that they might be using for military equipment and artificial intelligence. That's interesting. Is China purchasing chips from the United States? That's interesting. I would love to hear more about this. Let me see what this one real quick says, because sometimes I like to read like the people who post about it. Says new crackdown hits China's semiconductor industry. The war continues. Today marks a significant shift in the semiconductor landscape. The U.S. has launched a new round of restrictions targeting China's chips industry, impacting 140 companies, including key players like Nora Technology Group. This move is expected to reverberate through the semiconductor sector. It doesn't just halt exports to China, it disrupts the entire ecosystem. Companies like Piotech and Sci-Carrier Technology will face new curbs on chip-making tools and advanced memory chips, challenging China's ambition to lead in AI and advanced technologies. These restrictions are part of a broader strategy to protect U.S. national security, with implications for American and international firms such as Lam Research, KLA, Applied Materials, and ASML. The timing of these measures is critical, with former President Donald Trump soon to be sworn in, or you can just say President-elect Donald Trump. Continuity.
Okay, let's move on.
Continuity or that one is always a tough one. Too many eyes in there, right? Although there's only 2. But anyways, in the tough stats on China is anticipated, this reshaping of the semiconductor market underlies the competitive nature of technology and national security. So, pretty interesting. I would love to hear some more about it, follow up on that, to see this because this war it's a silent digital war between China and the United States, where they're fighting over chips or over artificial intelligence, all of that good stuff, right? But with that being said, let's move on to our next story. Shipping has a staffing shortage, right? So you guys remember at the beginning of November, like maybe a week or so before the election, maybe 2 weeks before the election, we had the dock workers or the port worker strikes, and that was quickly stopped, right, for lack of a better term. So let me turn this thing off real quick. Give me a second. Okay, just have to turn off that alarm clock. Make sure we're good to go. No distractions. Oops. All right, cool. We're good. We are good. Okay. Let's see. It says, I didn't even start the timer yet. All right, cool. There we go. Perfect. So the outlook for shipping has been befogged by a shortage of skilled seafarers willing to undertake grueling months-long voyages. Not only has Russia's invasion of Ukraine soaked up significant source of manpower for what is the single biggest link in the global supply chain, other factors such as expectations among young people for work-life balance and continuous internet connectivity are drying up applicant pools. At the same time, recruiters are receiving more inflated resumes from candidates who could pose a danger to crews. Both seafarer pay and the cost of shipped goods will likely rise in response. I was just thinking about that. That last one, I was just thinking about it. The Wealth Building Journey is helping a brother out. He says, pronounce continuity. Oh, that continuity. I wish Wealth Building Journey that they would just spell the words the way that they sound, the way that's pronounced. It's continuity. Continuity. Oh, look at that. You see, shout out to the Wealth Building Journey. Shout out to the Wealth Building Journey.
I appreciate you.
Helping me out with that continuity. Continuity. Oh, I'm going to be saying that all the time now. I just need to see that word in every sentence now. Continuity. Continuity. Anyways, being silly. All right. But I was thinking, right, with this shortage, they're going these seafarers might be offered the bag at this point. They're going to be offered the bag. So let's just do a quick seafarer salary. As of November 2024, the average hourly pay for a seaman in the United States is $26.60. The majority of seamen wages range from 21 to 27, but hourly wages can range from $13 to $60 an hour. So it might be going up. It might be going up because if they cannot find people, and the thing is, like, you're gonna have to get some experienced people to pay them a lot of money to train the less experienced people, especially if people do not want to do this job. And if they're saying, you know what, I need to be able to access Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Tinder when I am in the middle of the ocean, because you never know, we might run into a mermaid that, we want to talk to these mermaids, right? So I get it, right? Anyways, let's move on with our next one for today. So we have BlackRock eyes 12 billion with a B dollar HPS deal. So let me start our timer as well. BlackRock is close to acquiring HPS Investment Partners in a deal that values the private credit manager firm at around $12 billion, reports Bloomberg, citing anonymous sources. The news could be announced as soon as this week, with BlackRock paying HPS a mix of cash and stock. BlackRock boss Larry Fink wants to expand in private markets with the move following the company's $12.5 billion takeover of Global Infrastructure Partners in October. BlackRock hopes to reproduce its success as the world's largest asset manager in one of finance's hottest and most lucrative areas, private credit, according to Bloomberg. Wealth Building Journey. This article sounds like it's right up your alley. What are your thoughts on this with the Wealth Building Journey? This, finance and stuff like that. You are the money man. The Wealth Building Journey is the money man.
Money.
All right. So one thing that just hit me, right? We always hear how, for instance, Spirit just filed for bankruptcy. I believe it was Chapter 11, right? Spirit Airlines. But they were trying to merge with, I believe it was JetBlue, and that deal got denied by, I guess, the FTC or something like that. Why is it that? Because I hear people talk about BlackRock all the time, and they're going around, doing this, doing that, buying up companies and stuff like that. How come like they're able to reign freely in all the stuff that they're doing, and they're not getting blocked by the government from doing these deals? Just wondering. The wealth building journey says private equity is starting to overextend itself, in my opinion. Sounds good. I honestly have no opinion on that because I don't really, I barely know. I don't really understand the whole private equity thing. But we will get a follow up with the wealth building journey to get some more insight on that. But we're going to continue on with the show. We have one more article before we get to our coding work. So, and I'm going to refresh as well to make sure that we don't have the numbers to review before we wrap it up. Right. So next up we have Stellantis CEO to step down. Aw. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares has resigned, the company said in a statement, while the Jeep maker was already searching for a successor amid slumping sales and labor unrest. Tavares' departure comes sooner than expected, according to Bloomberg. Stellantis' statement cites different views between the CEO and the company's board and shareholders as the reason for the decision. Maybe the views were that how fast the company would be tanking. Stellantis will be led by a new interim executive committee with board chairman John Elkann and at the helm until a new CEO is appointed in the first half of next year. So that's the story with Stellantis. Their CEO is stepping down. They've been having tons and tons of problems, but we shall see. Let me make sure we don't have the numbers to review just yet. If not, then we will be calling it a day on that. No numbers to review. So we'll try to see if we can find it on Wednesday. If not, we'll go from there, right? But let me get back to full screen. And let me read this comment from the Wealth Building Journey. Sorry, the Wealth Building Journey is I'm going to hit you with one right now with the Building Journey. The Wealth Building Journey is a plethora of knowledge and insight, all right? Just saying that, right? So private equity has to always search for new sources of return on investment. Otherwise, investors who park their money with them can look for returns elsewhere, like risk-free treasury bonds. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see that makes a lot of sense. I got you. Okay, cool. And he says, one thing no one is talking about yet. NFL owners have approved minority equity stake purchases from private equity firms. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You see, like I honestly do not know. So is that like, so are you saying that a private equity firm, I guess like BlackRock, could buy minority equity stakes in a NFL team? And if that is the case, right, could they only buy it in one NFL team so they don't have a conflict of interest? Because I'm guessing one owner can't own two separate NFL teams. So maybe, like, I don't know. That's interesting. That is interesting. But in the meantime, we are going to transition over to working on our coding thing. But real quick, we have Alexis in the building. Good morning, Alexis. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well.
We the best.
The Wealth Building Journey says that it is a slippery slope to have the private equity firms purchasing in NFL stakes or in NFL teams. So yeah, I hear you. So real quick, all right. I had a coaching call this morning where we did a mock interview, and it was good. It was good to do because it actually helps you see. And what I do when I do these mock interviews, I record them so you can go back and watch them, so you can see how you did, how your answers were, where you were lagging, where you were confident, and then in our next meeting we're going to analyze it to see, so I have you watch it so you can give me your feedback and I give you my feedback, and we see if we're on the same page, and then you can see what to work on. A lot of times people get very, very nervous on doing their first one, but after they just suck it up and do it, then they're more comfortable going forward with it. And now we can have a baseline to work on and how to build that confidence. So it was really good. It was really good to do. And the thing is, if you can get all the bad habits of interviewing out by practice, so now once you actually show up to the interview, you know all the key points to hit on, all the data points, how to continue to bring the questions that they're asking you back to the most important things. And it is, what is the most important thing in an interview? Question for you. What do you think is the most important thing when you're interviewing? All right. I'm going to tell you what I think the most important thing is when you're interviewing before we end the show, because for now we're going to get to working on our test. All right. Let me see what the wealth building journey says before we jump into to working on that. Says, in terms of the second question about conflict of interest, in terms of buying a stake in multiple NFL teams. Gotcha. Okay, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope of a private equity firm buying. The only thing about that is because it's like, quote unquote, it's not one person owning it. Do they really, like, does the firm really care who wins one way or the other as long as they're making money? I don't know. I do agree though. It is a slippery slope if you can have interest in multiple teams. But then again, it's like if you buy stock in Apple and you buy stock in Microsoft and you buy stock in Google, you want all of them to succeed, right? So because I don't know. It's weird. It is weird, but I agree. We have my guy Mitch in the building. Says, "Yo, what's up, Mitch? How are you doing? Hopefully, you're having an amazing day, Monday morning." Oops, I missed one. Sorry. It says, yes, they could buy a stake in any NFL team. I would think most likely not, given whatever rules the majority owners come up with. Fair enough. Okay, I missed that. Sorry about that. All right, cool. So let's jump into I'm going to put a 20-minute timer so that we can have about 3 minutes to wrap up the show. So here we are. Let's go over here. All right. So we have, fair enough. We have, let's see. So last time we were able to get this test to pass because we're able to add our pump and settle with a delay. Where is it that we did it? We did it with a duration over here, and we're able to get it to pass. So now we just need to add this pump and settle with a few more delays, but I'm going to run it first so that we can see it working. All right, so we have entering the time of 10, hitting the decrement, and we're getting to 9, and then the cost changes. So now let's do the same thing, but for going to hitting the decrement one more time. Let's see. So we had the 114. We had the let me see how we did that. It was just duration, second 2. Okay, cool. So we go over to 102, and now it says scroll back up. We're going to say, all right, we're going to do a regular pump and settle. Let's uncomment this back. And we're going to say, click the decrement again. Right, so we're going to click on the arrow to go down again. And we're going to say, let me move this. And we're going to say, so now we're going to validate that. Okay, we're going to do a pump and settle, and we're going to say, duration, seconds, 2. Add a constant in front of this. All right, so we're gonna wait 2 seconds to make sure it shows 8. So I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna run it right now, because let's get. And this is the thing, right? When you're copying code, you end up copying a bunch of code, so it's hard to have that consistent running, stop, like running, making sure it pass, running, make sure it pass. But because we're uncommenting stuff out now, I'm just gonna run it and make sure that the 8 works. Right, so let's run that. All right, so we're still getting to 8. Awesome. All right, and then so we're going to continue, and we're going to say, scroll down to the test key profit loss, and we're going to look for the second one. This was all copied code that we had. And then we're going to go to all the way over here, and it's going to be I think that should be it. Let's give it a run and see what happens. Perfect. So everything is working. Everything is working. So we have that test running. So let's see. We had some earlier tests that weren't passing. Then let's see if we can fix that before we write a bunch more tests. Right. So let me take this off, and I can minimize. So this was all the test steps that we were doing. So all right, let's go to. We're gonna have to do a massive cleanup on aisle 4 on these tests as well. But we have validate ability to use increment button. So the one that was failing was this one, I believe, where that one is the one for when you input the hours and the minutes into the increment input box. So let me run that. And all of a sudden that one passes. Believe it or not. I thought that one was failing. Validate the ability to input hours and minutes into the increment input box. Was that the one? All right, maybe that one is passing. All right, maybe it's the one before that then. I thought that one was failing, to be honest with you. So let's minimize that one. Let's run this one. Validate the state changes for activity costs when it returns. All right, so let's take a look at this one. So this is saying validate the state changes for activity costs when it returns money spent activity. So this is saying inputting this amount. Okay, I remember what this one was. So we would be expecting So it was expecting to be 1,802 and 13 cents, but it's actually finding 1,502, 505. So it's a similar. So we're going to have to add that pump and settle thing. The question is where. So I can pull up the calculator real quick. All right, so let's say we have one. Let me see. Can I zoom in on this a little bit? All right, 1,76321. So we have $20.13. Okay. And we scroll down and we say the total cost of activity 1525.77. Oops. And let me see, what am I missing? All right, so we're into our user annual is that, okay, total hours spent. We should be putting user total hours spent on activity. 14. Okay. Total minutes spent, 45. Additional total number made from activity is 2053. So we should be getting 1802.13, but it is telling us that it's not getting that. All right, so let's do so you have all of this. You enter the user annual. Then we go down to the user total hours spent on activity. Let's do a duration. So I want to do a duration. Give it a second to update after entering because there's like a little delay in that one. So let's say we do const on that, and then we do the same thing for the minutes. So I added a second for the pump and settle for the when after you enter the hours and then after you enter the minutes. And then we scroll down, we say enter input additional. Let's run it with this one. Let's run it, see what we get with this. All right, what is it getting us now? It's still getting the same thing. Let's add some, let me set this to 2, actually. Because we did 2 on the one below. But even in the back end, it's doing that. So, all right, let's reset the calculator. So we say 176321, right? Why is there something with the reset isn't all right? So we just found a bug. Something with the reset isn't taking. Something is still staying in there. Because if I do on the total annual 176321, where is that 15 coming from? So it's holding a value in the actual cost. Okay, so we'll definitely have to. Let's go to our backlog. So we are going to say, say this is a bug and the additional cost of activity field is not resetting when using the reset calculator button. All right, so we have that one addressed or documented, so we can look into that. All right, so let's go back over here. Let's see. So we have this in here. So let's do what we did for the let's do the same thing that we did before, right? We're going to comment stuff out systematically. So let's say we comment this out. And let me see if we run it with that commented out. What do we get? So it passes. So let me see. It passes at this point. So do I have any other validations in here? So this is the only validation that I have in here. So that's okay. That's not good. So we need some more validations, or make this expect, and so this should be 14, 45. And here we say, so we should validate the activity time cost. This field right here. Should make sure that's accurate. So after you enter let's see. So after you enter these, we want to make sure that this is correct as well. Let me see. So I'm going to copy this expect over here. And I'm going to comment everything else out. We're going to comment out. Let me move this over. We're going to comment out all of this for now. So after you enter your income, enter your hours, you enter your minutes, then we should have right here actually. And we're going to say this is going to be activity time cost. Activity time cost calculation result. Let me see what this one is. All right, so this is all right. So we want to do actually no. All right, this is right. So let me move this up to over here. And I'm going to take this as activity time cost. How would that be the activity? Why would that be that? Because hours spent on activity, then we have minutes spent on activity. Additional cost of activity, time spent on activity, cost of activity. So let me see, activity time cost. So cost of activity calculation. Let me take this one. And we're going to go to here. I might have to rename this one down here because this is not really an accurate depiction of the cost. All right, so all right, so let's say activity time cost element. We'll name this like that. Name this element, and we'll say this is going to be activity time cost, and that should be 296.89. This equals dot text to plain text, and we close that. And we say var. Okay, so now if we comment everything else under it, and we say over here, let's do okay, we have a pump and settle already, so let's give that a play. Do that a run. Let's see what we get over here. So we have, so it's not actually calculating our activity time cost, which is why the final boss is saying that it's 15,000. So, all right. So now we have moved the error closer. And that's why it's important to have these validations throughout your test and not all the way at the end, because we were thinking that the error was happening towards the end, but it's actually happening here where it's not inputting the minutes and the seconds. All right, so let's see how we got it to work in the other one then, where we were entering the, so we have that one, and then number of hours spent on activity. We have that. Scroll to that, and we are expecting 10. So let's copy this again.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
Or we should say breakfast break. But let me just add this real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. But I'm just curious to see what we have going on here. So after we add total hours spent on activity, let's add this validation. So let's see if this one works at least, right? If that one works, then that means it's taking the 10, but it's not updating, or taking the 14, but it's not updating this field over here. Let's see. Oh, so it should be, okay, so it is taking that field then. It's taking the 14. So it takes the 14, but it's not, all right, so now let's also make sure that it gets the, it also gets the input total minutes spent on activity. And that should be 45. We run that. So it's getting those two, but it's not getting to this one over here. Let's see if I give it a 5. You know, sometimes you got to play with the numbers a little bit to see what's going to happen. Nope. So, all right, we got to figure out why this value isn't being captured over here. We got to figure out why that number isn't being captured, but it's finding it, but it's not actually being updated, which is a bit strange. But we will figure it out. We shall figure it out. Let me go back to full screen before we wrap it up for today. So, I asked the question of what do you think your number one goal, your number one priority is in an interview, right? And my answer to that is your number one goal is to show them, express to them, explain to them how awesome and amazing that you are and why there is no one better who can do the job than you. That's my thought. You have to sell yourself. You have to be confident. Sell yourself saying, look, listen, Linda, I have done this amazing thing, this amazing thing, this amazing thing. You don't go and say, oh, because I'm looking for an opportunity to learn.
It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
You don't say, because I'm looking for an opportunity to learn. I'm trying to get into this field. I'm trying to do this. No, I'm amazing. I'm awesome. Like Jeezy's song, I'm amazing, right? I love that song, amazing. Why you are the MVP, not the minimum viable product, but the most valuable player, right? Show them why you're awesome. Show them why there is no other option better than you. And then, you just, everything that you talk about, you center it back to something amazing that you did, right? And that's why I do these mock interviews, so that you can see when you start looking to the left and looking to the right, when you start to stutter and look unsure, we work on all of that. We get that, we get all those bugs out of the system, so that when they ask you, like, so what are you looking to do? Tell me about yourself. You're like, oh, I did this, that, and the other. I worked on this project. I worked on that project. I made this money here. I helped generate this money. I helped organize this, all this type of stuff. You have all these talking points, and you just express to them how awesome, how amazing that you are, and that if they do not hire you, it is more of their loss than it is your loss. All right. That is my final tip for you today. For this morning, we are going to be back at noon for Candid Conversations. I will be in the chat hanging out with you guys as we watch together about the future state of QA. Will it survive in 2025, or do we put a fork in it like we did to the turkey on Thanksgiving? Is it over with, or is there hope for QA? We shall see. We shall find out. And then tomorrow night we're going to be live as well, doing our Q&A as we always do on Tuesday nights. With that being said, we're going to get out of here. Let me just say a quick bye to all my friends in the chat. Mitch, you have an amazing, amazing day. The Wealth Building Journey. Appreciate you so much for stopping by and giving me all this insight. And I'm going to drop these two things here for the Wealth Building Journey, right? I am going to say it's again, right? Where is it? Continuity. Thank you so much for helping me out with that as well, the Wealth Building Journey. Alexis, you have an amazing, amazing day. Mitch, you take care. See you guys at noon. This is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.
Tech Coach Ralph, tough as nails, no disguise. Pushing limits, yeah, he's that kind of guy. At first it's harsh, the rules feel like chains. But trust the process, there's sunshine in the rains. He cracks the whip, but it's all in love. Results shining bright like stars above. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. Days turn to weeks, skills sharp and fast. What once was a struggle now feels like a blast. Step by step, we rise and we glow. With Ralph in our corner, we're ready to show. Singing his praises, can't keep it inside. From hard ass to hero, he's our pride. Tech Coach Ralph, you light the way. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game of growth. He plants the seed. So here's to Ralph, the coach we need in this game
ask for help, now you don't understand. Guess value in my time takes a stand. People reaching out for me unknown, begging for advice like I've got the throne. But when the truth hits, they're up and gone, leaving me with echoes all alone. Why you ghost when I give the plan? Disappear like shadows in the sand. You ask for help, now you don't understand. Guess value in my time takes a stand. People reaching out for me unknown, begging for advice like I've got the throne. But when the truth hits, they're up and gone, leaving me with echoes all alone. Why you ghost when I give the plan? Disappear like shadows in the sand. You ask for help, now you don't understand. Guess value in my time takes a stand. It's a cycle that I see every day. They come and go like the light of day. I'm done with wasting every breath I take. Time is cold and I refuse to break. Why you ghost when I give the plan? Disappear like shadows in the sand. You ask for help, now you don't understand. Guess value in my time takes a stand. It's a cycle that I see every day. They come and go like the light of day. I'm done with wasting every breath I take. Time is gold and I refuse to break. Why you ghost when I give the plan? Disappear like shadows in the sand. You ask for help, now you don't understand. Guess value in my time takes a stand.